I'm going to show you 4 different ways on how to use these with clay and how to make molds from them as well. Stick around to the end because I have a surprise for you. Have you ever seen a really cool silicone mold for resin and that you wanted to use clay with it, but when you tried to press the clay in, everything flattened out, it stuck, it wouldn't come out, it wouldn't release, and if it does, well, now you got the clay memory going. So if you're doing high fire, you're going to end up with a piece like this. Well, I've got a fix for all of that. We're going to turn a few of these molds into something you can use with actual clay and a few little surprises along the way. So if you've got a collection of these and you're really wanting to either transition over to clay, or you bought them because you thought you could use them with clay, and as soon as you put clay in them, you were very disappointed, and stick with me, I'll show you. I'm going to show you which molds are used best as is with no changes. So the first and the most obvious is going to be to use these as press molds. Some of these, like this one for instance, is pretty sturdy, it's pretty hard. So when you go to press the clay in, you're gonna get, you're gonna get a little distortion, but for the most part, you're gonna be able to use it for that. This one as well. This pressed in fairly well, as you can see. You still have to do certain things because there's no way you're going to get clay into that and then back out again. You just have to kind of make your own on the little things. On things like this, the seahorse, as you can see, I've changed it a lot. So yes, I use this as the mold. And then I use it as an applique, but then for true to my style, then I added the big teeth and, changed the fins and changed everything around to make it my own. And this right here, the bee, I did the same thing. So as you can see, it was wrapped around. I had to add a little bit to it and take it away. You've got an indent here because it was so thick. I'm not gonna put an applique that thick on there, and I didn't want to punch a hole in the back, and so I ended up kind of hollowing it out and reshaping it. So if you're going to use these for the applique, that is totally doable. It really does work, as you can see. On the thicker ones. On the thinner ones like this, like we had just talked about, not so much. Let's look at another way to use these silicone molds. We're going to make ceramic molds from them. That's right, ceramic. Watch this. For this mold right here, I used a cast iron mermaid washcloth hook or towel hook for the bathroom. So its tail comes out, and you'd hang your washcloth or your towel in your bathroom on this. I couldn't really make the traditional mold because of the way that the tail came out, so I used this method instead. We're actually going to make one of our ceramic molds. This does not absorb water. You cannot pour slip into this. It is ceramic. So to start with, I'm going to use a silicone lid to a little coffin that I made as our template. Get yourself a good work area, make sure everything's clean. For this, I'm just going to use a little bit of petroleum jelly. I use this a lot in the studio, much to some people's dismay, I'm sure. So we're going to put this on here. Now we're going to take our clay, flatten it out. This is just some leftover clay that I had, nothing special. This is that cheap stuff I get from Hobby Lobby. $20 for 25 pounds. Okay, you can let this sit until it firms up just a little bit. My clay is pretty firm as it is, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Just be careful and deliberate when you're removing your object. Now I'm definitely going to let it firm up because I've got edges to clean and I do not want to damage the mold. So once this is firm, I will come and remove a bunch of this, clean it up, and make it into exactly what I want. Next, I'm going to show you the secret that I use to use these thin molds without having to make a mold from it. All you need to do is gather up some sand, a little bit of water. I like the continuous spray bottles, and some painter's plastic. And then watch what happens. After you spritz it, this is basically for something for the film to grab onto. Put your thin mold in and gently rock it and press it into the sand. But take your time on this because you're going to want this built up around it pretty good. This is your stability. You can probably see where I'm going with this, right? This is your stability. This makes this mold very stable now. And if it's not, push more sand up around it. Now we can use our cornstarch poof. And this is our release. You can also use spray grease, Vaseline, whatever you want. And we can take and we can press this in there without a lot of movement, without a lot of distortion, more importantly. And when we do get distortion, hold on, I'm going to show you, because this is the perfect one for this. Let me put some more clay in here. Okay, so we just got a little distortion on the tail. With the sand, you can pinch that tail right back into place, scrape off the excess clay, and keep rolling. It is not going to stop you. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so this stabilized it enough. Use one of the thinner silicone molds. That's pretty cool. You could just pour plaster in that for this. So then I'm going to show you what it looks like when we take it out. It looks like the rest of them. Oh, I didn't even need to do that. And as you remember, I didn't put the antennae on here because I usually make mine separate. And it didn't distort it. So then you can put your little bug feelers on there. And now you have the perfect applique for a big flower pot. Do this in terracotta. Put your hanger in the back, your high fire hanger. You can do all sorts of stuff with this, and your shop is going to love these. So make a lot of them, sell a lot of them this spring, and let's move on to the next one. Next, I'm going to show you how to make a frosting mold. So you pour your resin in your super thin molds. Take your resin piece. I'm going to show you how to make an actual mold from this. You can use this as a press mold, or you can pour slip into this. On this particular mold, you're going to have to fill in these holes at least, I would say a little more than halfway, because if you don't, the plaster will come in here and it will stick. You won't get your original out very easily without tearing up the mold. Okay, so it looks good. Let's mix up some plaster. Make sure that you use a release agent on your resin original. On this one, I just use Vaseline. If you don't know how to make these frosting molds, I'm going to put a link at the end of this video on a how-to that I did for frosting molds. Okay, now we're going to just let this dry. And if you see, well, getting little chips here, but that's all right. This is still not cured. So you can see the bump here, the bump here, and the bump here. This is the little indent that we left. So now this right here makes the perfect press mold. And this is great for beginners. I showed you 4 different cool ways to use these flimsy silicone molds meant for resin with your pottery. All of these are extremely beginner friendly. Anyone can do any of these. But now for the surprise. The next video in this series, maybe not the next video I put out, but the next video in this series, I'm going to show you how to make a 2-piece slip casting mold from a 2-piece silicone mold. These are going to be for slip casting, and maybe I'll throw a few little extras in here as well. It's going to be a pretty good video, but that is not very beginner friendly. That's why I didn't include it in this one. So if you're a little more advanced, or you master everything in this video and you're ready to move on to something a little more, just follow the channel and this will be coming out this spring. And if you like the t-shirts that I've been wearing, I designed these. They're for sale down below. I only charge, I charge the least they'll let me charge. So these aren't $30 and $40 and $50. Whatever they make me charge is the highest I go. This one right here, obviously cone 04 for slip casters, but I have cone 6. I have glaze. I've all different ones that are fun. I also have some that kind of mimic my music. So am I a potter or ceramicist? If you've watched my channel for any length of time, you've heard some of my music. That's also down below if you would like to hunt for that. And I hope I taught you something, and I'll see you in the next one.